All right, everybody, Bryce here coming at you with yet another crypto market update. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you made some great trades and you're gearing up for a good weekend. I want to start with Bitcoin price and Ethereum and Solana. These are the three majors most actively traded. Now, Bitcoin, for instance, just hit its 200-day moving average and it found resistance there. You could actually see here on the chart, it came up, found a little resistance, almost tried to peek into that volume point of control overhead, but we were rejected down to the 20-day moving average where we're finding a little bit of support. But look, this 20-day average, it's acted as support since the beginning of April. But if we lose this, I think that, which again, 20-day average right around $79,000, I think we could, and we probably will see $75K or $75,000 per Bitcoin get hit, because that's the 50-day moving average, which is a little bit stronger, longer-term support, right? So if we found a little resistance at 200-day, we're going to probably pop back down to that 50-day average. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on Bitcoin, just very high level. The picture for Ethereum gets a little worse. Ethereum's actually trading currently below all three of its key moving averages, the 200, the 20, and the 50. So what does that mean? That means it's finding more resistance, more sellers, and it's not a super duper pretty picture. But we do have a very key volume point of control right below us at $2,050 per Ethereum. So again, with Ethereum trading right around, $22.50 right now, I think we're probably going to be seeing a little bit lower prices over the weekend through early next week. I think we're just going to be able to get lower buys. So if you're shorter term traders, that's something I would look out for. And the picture on Solana is right in between. It's a little worse than a Bitcoin, but it's a little better than Ethereum. Just the current technical picture, looking out and looking back about a week or two. If you're kind of taking a look at Solana right now, right around $89 per Solana token, I think we could probably see low 80s over the weekend, early next week. Again, that's because it's, again, hitting its head on those key averages and popping down below. It broke below its 20-day average, and it looks like it's in no man's land between the 20 and the 50. So that means we're probably going to see $85, $84 per Solana. But again, these are, and that's also the $85, $84 range is where the volume point of control from this yearly range has been. So it's a very key level. So that's kind of how I'm seeing 75K on Bitcoin, about $2,000 to $2,050 on Ethereum, and about $85 to $84 on Solana. So that's just the price picture. But what's really driving it was this inflation report that came out that really top ticked the market. Inflation came in hot. Right, 3.8% on CPI, 6% on PPI, which is another measure of inflation. And a lot of this is really driven by the war going on in the Middle East, whereby food prices and fertilizer prices, which is all, a lot of that's derived from the Strait of Hormuz. But of course, oil. Everybody knows oil's above $100 a barrel and hovering around with a lot of volatility. So that has been very, very tricky for the economy to navigate. Of course, stocks have been ripping to new all-time highs, which is a good thing. That's kind of a notch in the bull's belt for crypto, because typically crypto and stocks are highly correlated. So we want to see this strength pour over into the crypto world, which I do anticipate as things start to resolve, as we get these positive reports from the China-US meeting that they had, I guess you would call it. This big entourage from America went over to China. They're doing some negotiations and some hand holding and some friendly discussions to how we can further and better our relationship, how we could end this war in Iran. So it's very interesting what's going on there. And so a lot of that confusion has just kind of kept a lid on Bitcoin's price. But again, we think this is going to be short term. We are still extremely bullish. If you look out 3, 6, 12 months, this is still an incredible buying opportunity. But one of the things that I think is really worth talking about, and I know I've already written emails about it, so maybe you've seen it, and we've had podcasts about it and YouTubes about it, but the Clarity Act is going to the Senate floor for its final vote very soon. So this is great. This will be a landmark legislation for the crypto world, where now you'll be able to have fiduciaries who manage trillions of dollars of assets, be able to put customer funds into many different crypto assets, not just Bitcoin, not just Ethereum, and it will give regulatory clarity as to what the SEC is in charge of and what the CFTC is in charge of. So that delineation is taking 3 years so far of back and forth debate. It's going to give the crypto exchanges a lot of understanding as to what kind of yield they're able to pass through to their clients on these stable coins. It's going to answer a lot of questions, which will basically allow big banks, more, risk averse asset managers, all of these folks to finally get involved with DeFi, to get involved with, offering wallets and non-custodial, property, non-custodial wallets to their customers. Many things that we're going to be seeing here. New kinds of funds launching, more ETFs. So I'm really excited about the Clarity Act. This is a very good sign. There was several Democrats that were voting against it in the prior months. They just flipped to support it. So this is going to go to the Senate floor, where this is the last step it needs before it's signed into law. Okay, and of course President Trump is very pro crypto and pro the Clarity Act. So he says he wants to sign this thing on July 4th. So that will be a great way to celebrate America's 250th birthday by having this new Clarity Act for crypto and essentially the backbone for the future of the financial world. So I'm very excited about that. And last but certainly not least, Kevin Warsh just this week was announced that he was confirmed by the Senate as the new Federal Reserve Chairman. So this is kicking out Jerome Powell. Not kicking out, his term expired. He's probably still going to stay on as a governor, but we now have Kevin Warsh in charge. And Kevin Warsh is very important. I've talked about him a little bit, but he's a dove, more or less. He wants interest rates down, which is great. Unfortunately, interest rate cuts have been completely priced out of the curve right now. As of April CPI report, it was I think there was a 30% chance at the time before the CPI report came out. Once it came out, all of the rate cuts for this year got priced out, meaning the market is not expecting any rate cuts anymore whatsoever. And now there's higher odds of actually rate hikes, which I don't think once Kevin Warsh gets in charge, his first move is going to be a rate hike, considering Trump is always hey, get the rates down. America should have the lowest rates and so on and so forth. So I don't think he's going to be hiking, but it seems like there's just not enough willpower at the Fed and not enough good data to really start a serious cutting cycle. So I'm very curious to see what's going on here. But the important fine point I want to put on this market update is that Kevin Warsh is a crypto bull. Okay, so now we have the Federal Reserve Chairman, who is, the premier banking regulator. He's really bullish on crypto. He's gone on, record on CNBC and Bloomberg on Fox Business saying he thinks, Bitcoin is a cop on the policy, a cop on the beat for, monetary policy. He thinks that, DeFi and non-custodial transactions are, a protected right. And there's so many things that he's really optimistic about, so much so that he put his money where his mouth is. And his public disclosures, his financial disclosures have shown he has millions and millions of dollars worth of crypto exposure across over 30 tokens, projects, companies, different equity. This is insane for the lead of the Federal Reserve to have over 30 different investments across the crypto world. Now, because of the conflicts of interest and all that kind of stuff, he will probably have to divest or get rid of or sell all of his crypto exposure and all of his other exposure before he steps into office. But he's not going to be divesting his worldview. I can promise you that. Pretty much promise you that. I think he's still going to be very enthusiastic about the future that crypto's building, and he's going to want to encourage it and let it proliferate and be a supporter. So this is great news across the board. So despite just the technical picture looking on crypto, we're finding a little bit of resistance, and we might need to have some lower prices to kind of resolve this uptrend higher. I think we're going to get a little bit of a buy in the dip opportunity, maybe 5 to 10% below price. So it's not anything to freak out about, but it is something to pay attention to. But again, all of the long-term bullishness that we're seeing is incredible. Altcoins are seeing a little bit of strength as well across different pockets. You'll see moves go up pretty quickly, but they've been getting kind of snuffed out quickly as well. So I think we just need a little bit longer to cook before we break out to new all-time highs, which I don't think is too far away, because once this market gets moving, you guys know how quickly it can jump. Okay, so that's your crypto market update. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and we'll see you back next week. And stay tuned for some great stuff throughout the week from all of us here at Crypt Nation.